Check one, check one. Let me know in the chat if you can see me. If you can hear me. How about that W? One pride. Let's go. Jonathan Foster Maloney, my guy. Good to see you. Green Bay won. Yeah, Saints really did us dirty. But how about that W that the Lions snagging here? Pushing us to 2-1. Jared Goff, 22 for 33 with 243 yards, 1 TD, 1 pick. Pick was no bueno. And you know what? Honestly, guys, the offense wasn't looking super potent. Definitely kind of struggled to get going, but Sam Laporta showing us some stuff today. Yeah, you know what? I think I think really you could see the detriment that is there without Montgomery. No Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs taking the bulk of the carries, and he's just a different type of player. He's not the type of guy who should be carrying the ball through the pack up against the D-line in moments where you're like, man, we're trying to get some brute yardage. He's the type of guy where we see him with space, what he's able to do, but when it's 3rd and 2, there's some struggles. There's some struggles there. But hey, man, the D-line, freaking D-line did their job. They absolutely thwarted Atlanta. Atlanta only hanging 6 on the board. 2 field goals. They missed 1. Ritter looked terrible. Atlanta fans, I'm sorry. I love your coach. I love what you're building there. But Ritter looked pretty bad. Looking at it, Ritter went 21 for 38, 202 yards, barely eclipsed 200. He was chucking the ball all over the place. High. Tracy Walker should have picked off 2. Romeo Okwara set him up. It was a perfect volleyball set. Bijan, 10 carries, 33 yards. Again, our D-line ate it up. Absolutely ate them up. Yeah, the O-line, here's the deal, man. The depth, it's not, we lost Matt Nelson. Obviously, no Decker. Sewell kind of struggling on the left tackle side. He made a couple errors, couple penalties. Matt Nelson goes down. Skipper has to come in. It's kind of the O-line just seeing like the depth isn't as stalwart as one may want. But hey, that's a W. That is a W. The Lions go to 2-1. I'm sure you all saw the stat. I guess teams that start 2-1, 54% of them make it to the playoffs. Not something I'm really worried about. I know Green Bay won, right? What was I saw it. It was like the last 2 minutes and 45 seconds, and we're winning 18-17. Is that what they clinched it at? Yeah, 18-17. Both teams going to 2-1. That's fine. Let the Packers be 2-1. You know why? We're playing them this week, and we're going to put them to 2-2. The penalties. How about that? It's funny because in the beginning of the game, they're like, oh, this officiating crew only has an average of 9 penalties a game. And within the first quarter, they threw 4, 5 flags. Just boom, 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 boom. I was like, I don't care what they've done in the past. They're throwing the flags today. There were a couple that were a little fishy. Yeah, alien source. Falcons were supposed to be running all over us. You're not wrong. I anticipated it. But look, man, that D-line did absolute work. We may have lost Josh Pascal. We may have lost James Houston, but the D-line shut the run down. They could not establish anything. Again, Bijan, 10 carries, 33 yards. Now I'll say this, Ritter couldn't establish a play action, couldn't establish anything in the air. Our secondary really showed up between Tracy Walker. Cam Sutton's just shut down. Cam Sutton shut down corner, doing his job. He was great. Jerry Jacobs struggled. I love Jerry Jacobs, but man, 2 weeks in a row. Last week he was terrible. This week he definitely struggled. So kind of interesting, but I think for Detroit, our best wide receiver showed up today was Amon-Ra St. Brown, 9 receptions, 102 yards. Man, Goff had Khalif Raymond on that one route cross midfield, just overthrew him. That thing would have been delicious. Let's see here. Lions. We saw Craig Reynolds. We also saw Zonovan Knight. He was out there. He had 3 carries for 13 yards. Really, it was Jahmyr Gibbs just being the workhorse. 17 carries, 80 yards, averaged 4.7 yards a carry. Receiving, Sam Laporta did step up. I was on Dose of Dion's show this morning. I said, hey, if there's going to be one underdog out there showing up, it's going to be Sam Laporta. And he did. 8 receptions, 84 yards, averaged at 10.5 yards per reception, and 1 TD, first NFL touchdown. That was huge. Linebackers looked good. Yes, absolutely. Alex Anzalone was on top of it. Derek Barnes looked good. Malcolm Rodriguez did struggle at the linebacker position. Kind of saw him flailing all around, missing a couple plays, but as a special team guy, he was looking good. He is out for at least, Josh Pascal is on IR, so that's at least 4 weeks. I don't know the severity of it. I don't know how much longer it'll be, but we know it's 4 weeks, this being week 1, which is crazy, man. I love knowing that we're playing Thursday and no injuries today. Not that we saw. I didn't see any sustained injuries. Obviously, the boys take a beating. So to have to turn around and play Thursday as well, I don't know if there was any injuries for Green Bay today. They win that game 18-17. But yeah, man, I mean, we take on Green Bay in 4 days. Yeah, Gibbs did have a solid day. He'll be a solid back. It's just a matter of we're asking him to carry a certain load that isn't really in his wheelhouse. With Montgomery out, we're asking him to carry a different type of load, be a different type of player. Man, you get that kid into open space, he can cruise. He can turn on the jets. There was the one play where he ran into Antoine Green, right? Because it looked like he was going to pick up some big yardage, runs into Antoine Green, goes down. But no, Gibbs, there's a lot of potential there. And the offense took some time to get going, and they never really found an excellent rhythm, but they played just fine. Yeah, baby, let's go. How about it? We're on our way. 2-1. Big game against Green Bay this Thursday. It's the type of thing where it's like, don't get complacent. Go into Lambeau, keep rolling. We need to take that in-division W. It's our first in-division game, and we need it. Freaking need it. Brian Branch. How about it? That kid, unbelievable. And I'm going to say this, that penalty, Bijan put his head down. I think that's a bullshit call. I get that they're going to call it because they have to because of the optics. But Brian Branch, in that last drive for Atlanta, Bijan Robinson put his head down. The helmet comes flying off. I think that's on Bijan as much as it's going to be on Brian Branch. So I think that's a bull call, but they got to do it for the optics. I understand it. Still hate it. It was a great tackle by him. He made the play. It was beautiful. Terrible call. Brian Branch, let's go. Keep it rolling, man. It's nice to see a number 32 out there, out and about, doing good work because, DeAndre Swift, he had his moments. Great to see Tracy Walker out there. I want to see how many sacks did we put on the day? Aiden Hutchinson with 2 sacks. That last one with the fumble recovery. Dirty doing the stanky leg. Charles Harris with the sack. That's 3. Jack Campbell with 1. That's 4. Derek Barnes, 5. Ali McNeil, 6. And Benito Jones, that's 7. Listen, man. This Lions team, we have been applying a ton of pressure on the QBs between Patrick Mahomes and Geno Smith. We were just unable to finish, unable to wrap them up, unable to actually make it in the very last second. These QBs have been getting the ball off. But today, Ritter could not get the ball off. He was holding the ball too long, and we finally applied the finishing touch to that pressure. That was a big thing that we were talking about on Dose of Dion show this morning before the game was like, hey, we're pressuring, but we're not finishing. And today we were able to find the finishing touch to the pressure. Had the Packers come back, bro. I don't know. I wasn't watching it. And honestly, I don't care because we get to play him Thursday. Let's beat him. Let's go. And we're going to my guess is we will have Decker back and Montgomery for that game. Don't quote me, but that is my guess. New Orleans letting us down. Vikes go 0-3. Let's go. You know what? The Vikings last year were a type of team that had a little bit of magic that were able to sustain it all throughout the year, winning those one-score games, those last 2-minute games. Like, they were winning games that they had no business winning. And then in the playoffs, they were shown for who they really were. They got clapped. To me, my bet this year was it would be Detroit taking the division with Green Bay right behind them. And at the moment, that's what things are looking like. Anything could change. Anything can change. But the Vikes going to 0-3. Cousins to the Titans in a fire sale. I was hoping he was going to go to the Jets. I think he'd actually be great on the Jets, and I'd be fine with that. O-line backups were good. There were some penalties, but they did hold their own. Dan Skipper having to come in the game, in the second quarter, really did hold up over on the side. That was great. Dan Skipper did his job. Penei Sewell over on the left as the left tackle at the moment, he's getting called on a lot of things because he's wrapping up. And you know what, man? Like, it makes sense. Makes sense. You're shifting your entire play style over to the left tackle position. Makes sense. Batman coming in here. My guy, Lions W, Pats W, and the Vikes get it now. Now listen, Batman, I'm not a Pats fan. In fact, I hate the Pats, but you know what? I love you. So I'm okay with it. Plus, you beat the Jets. I'll take that. My man, Lions with the W, Vikes with the L. Imagine we had that Green Bay loss. Oh, that'd have been chef's kiss. Skip, baby. Skip coming into that game doing work. Let's go. Come on. Yeah, I think if I'm looking here, man, Atlanta, they couldn't get anything going. Algier, 7 carries, 11 yards. He averaged, so really Bijan averaging 3.3 yards a carry. And this was the big thing. Okay, Bijan versus Gibbs. Bijan, 3.3 yards a carry. And Gibbs at 4.7. It's really nice to be able to expose Atlanta in a lot of ways. And their secondary just wasn't there. And supposedly they were going to be great. You know what? I do like Atlanta. And so if there's any Atlanta fans here, my condolences, but we had to beat you today. Thank God. It was nice to get that first home W before going on the road to Lambeau. Because if we suffered an L today, and then had to go into Lambeau and try to take that W, that would have been that would have crushed us. So I feel really good about this. We got 4 days before the next game. Yeah, we knew what Ritter was. I was expecting Ritter to be scrambling a ton more. And really looking at it, again, he barely threw for over 200 yards, 202. And on the ground, 2 carries, 3 yards. I expected a few more designed runs. I saw one designed runs. I was expecting at least 5, but man, 4 or 5, because on the ground, that was where they were supposedly going to hit us. Even without CJ, the secondary was amazing. Brian Branch, dude. Let's just call for what it is. Brian Branch stepping up in huge ways that you don't really see in a defensive rookie of the year candidate so far. I mean, the guy is unbelievable. Him coming in out of the box, dude. Like, I love Brian Branch. Tracy Walker should have had 2 picks, got 0. The one hit him straight in the chest. I know you're not expecting that ball, but shoot, boy. But yeah, hey, they locked him down. Longest run was 11 yards. Absolutely, the linebackers did work. So this isn't a surprising outcome with Bijan getting shut down. No, yeah. With Bijan getting shut down, this is Atlanta. That's kind of my thought. Kyle Pitts, he's great. Drake London, unbelievable. But Ritter doesn't have the accuracy. He doesn't have the arm. Like, you saw him just chucking the ball all over the place. He started to get a little rattled, and then he was all over the place again. Barely 200 yards. As an Atlanta fan, if I was an Atlanta fan, I'd be a little bit worried with Ritter as the future. We'll probably see him as a backup in Washington in a few years. Bro, absolutely missed Montgomery today. You could feel it. There was just no oomph in the backfield. Gibbs has got a certain style. It's awesome. But if you don't have that guy who gets out there who can punish a D-line and break the tackle, it's gonna be a long day. And it was a long day for Gibbs. Granted, 80 yards. That was great. I think 17 carries, right? But Broncos, yeah, what was it? Dolphins went pretty ham, huh? What was that? Let's see here. What was the official score of that game? 20-70. I don't know if I've ever seen 70 points on an NFL game. Oh, yeah, that one's got to hurt. Remember when Sean Payton going there was going to save the day? Yikes. Now, they should have won that game against Washington, but that's tough. Every DC with Atlanta on the schedule now has the roadmap. Shut the run down. Let Ritter attempt to do it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And that's what we did. 70 is the second most ever. 73 is the record. Bro, Anzalone was lights out. He was lights out. Anzalone absolutely killed it out there. He had a great game. Let's see. Defensively, Alex Anzalone, 3 tackles, 2 assists. He was just flying all over the place. How about Hutch? What a dog today. Him deflecting that one ball, which they tried to call the pass interference, picked up the flag, 2 sacks, fumble recovery. Hutch had a day. My boy, finally, again, we've been talking about it. We've been talking about the pressure that this D-line is applying, and they finally got the finishing touch. They finally got to the QB and made Ritter pay. It was awesome. Hutch had a great game. Aleem McNeil had a great game. Benito Jones getting out there with a sack. Charles Harris, like, the boys shut down the run. They shut down Ritter. It was great defensively. Offensively, man, I think we should have scored at least another touchdown and a field goal. Like, we should have been in the 30s. The road outside my home just has potholes galore. It's terrible. I don't know if you could hear that. Hey, tune to funny. Glad to have you here. As a Falcons fan, good game. Hey, man, I'm sorry. Thank you for joining the chat. Appreciate you dropping in here. It was a tough loss for you guys. You're 2-1 now. Hey, thank you for beating Green Bay. For that, we thank you. Third quarter was whack, man. Third quarter was all over the place. Hutch no longer an impressive rookie, just an impressive pro overall. Thanks again, Jacksonville. No kidding, dude. Huge win, Rich. Huge win. Let's freaking go. Man, dude. Yeah, I feel confident. I love knowing that nobody got hurt, that we get to march into Lambeau, hopefully get Decker back. Because, again, that was something that we talked about all this week was, which guys do you sit in preparation for a game on Thursday? If Decker was out there today, he probably wouldn't be playing against the Packers. That's just the truth. How will Ragnow be? How will his toe be? That's going to be a discussion. I'm sure we're going to see that he's, sitting Tuesday, and that's the play, dude. I think the Lions should go into Lambeau and stomp the yard, figuratively and literally, but the Lions should beat Green Bay. We should go 3-1, but I don't want complacency. I don't want should-bes. I want to do it. And, man, had we beaten, it's funny because I came home and I'm talking to my wife and I was like, oh man, if we beat Seattle, and she goes, man, there you go we should have won this. And if we won that, and I was like, oh man, that is the Lions fan MO. If it's not, right. We're always like, well, if we did win this game, then, but dude, huge W, for an in-conference, for an NFC game, because if the Lions find themselves in a position in which we're scrapping for a wild card slot, that game against Atlanta will matter. The game against Seattle is probably going to matter. Like, these conference wins are huge. You got to win them. Thank God we did. Now we need an in-division W. Let's go. Let's go get it right now. Dr. Detroit, happy about the young players that played well. Makes me calm down and be happy. We won. Hey, my man, let's go. Let's be calm. Let's go. Goff is the FR. The league gonna have to accept that. I don't know what FR means. Feel like I'm missing something here, but he is for real. I think that's what it is. I think it's for real. Goff is for real. The league. I got it. There it is. That's context clues, baby. Blues clues. Yeah, he is. He is. The pick was no bueno, but man, he is calm. He is standing in the pocket and taking huge hits. Uh-oh, hold on. We got to get that. How about those 0-3 Vikings? Let's go, Wayne. Let's freaking go. Yes, Lions fans are the kings of what ifs. I know. I literally said it. My wife was like, come on, not now. Can't do that. It's only week 3. I was like, oh, shit. You got me. Dude, you're asking a great question. I love CJ Gardner-Johnson, but it really comes down to availability. I think if the Lions re-sign him, we're looking him in the eyes and we're like, bro, we know you want to get paid. We can't give you the big money if you can't stay healthy. Here's the deal. And it's small dollar bills, smaller dollar bills than he's going to want, but it's the only way to keep him around. Will he look at this squad and be like, man, I want to be here. I'm willing to take it. Or is it, Denver's willing to pay me because they just gave up 70 points to the Finns. I'm just saying. Ooh, did Indianapolis win in overtime? Shoot. Yeah, man. Conference wins are key, even though the Kansas City Chiefs game, yeah, that was sexy. But shoot, man. And I think that gave us a big head. And that's why we lost to Seattle. We just were not where we needed to be. Is Mosley coming back? Hey, man, if you missed my pregame show, the best way I put it regarding CJ or Emmanuel Mosley is this. Have you ever seen Angels in the Outfield? The movie that came out when we were all children, JGL, Danny Glover, Tony Danza. Remember when JGL, the little boy, 8-10 years old, looks at his really badass dad on a motorcycle smoking a cig, and he says, Dad, are we ever going to be a family again? And the dad, smoking a cig, throws it out, looks at his son as he's putting on his helmet, and he says, yeah, we'll be a family when the Angels win the pennant. And that's when Moses is coming back. Packers W really bummed me out, but hey, we got the W. Whiskey neat. It's all right, man. It's all right. Let them have the W. Let them have the W. Because we get them this week. We get them in 4 days. Let's go. Let's go clinch it. Let's go take that W. Let's go put a stamp on top of this division saying, no, this is ours. This is our division. Let's go into Lambeau and let's win it. It's a highly winnable game. I think it should be our W, but I don't want complacency. I don't want the guys going in there saying, oh, well, we won this last year to clinch the season out. And go in there aggressive. Go in there and pack a punch. Angels in the Outfield. Let's go. Great movie. Matthew McConaughey is in that. And in like every movie that Matthew McConaughey is in, his shirt is off at some point. We can see that we don't have to worry much about the Vikings or the Bears. Time to go to Green Bay and show it. Yeah, let's go. That's 100% it, dude. That is 100% it. Yeah, please, dear God. I can't. If they have another, I mean, honestly, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I got to watch Green Bay. I got to watch some film on Jordan Love this year because I haven't watched any of their games. I don't care to because it just makes me mad. And the fact that they won 2 of them, like, I'm not interested. But got to check him out. Got to check out what he's doing this year. Thoughts on Brian Branch? My thoughts are this. That guy's got Defensive Rookie of the Year caliber written all over him. And I think he's going to be a stud here in Detroit for years to come. again, for anybody who wasn't here, that flag that they called on him against Bijan was an optics flag. They had to throw it, but it was the wrong call. Bijan Robinson put his head down, and Branch was already just flying in on him. Bijan puts his head down, takes the hit, the helmet goes flying. That's on Bijan. Worst case scenario, offset it, but that's not on Brian Branch. I think that's a bull call, and they're just going to call it every time because they have to for optics. So it was a great tackle. Even the announcer was like, man, no, that was a great tackle on Brian Branch. Branch is the real deal. He was flying in all over the place, shutting them down. Branch was a stud today. That one play where he got up, deflected it over the dude's hands. And yeah, Jack Hayes, man, Jerry Jacobs is my boy, but he had a bad game again. And it's tough because, again, I love him. Yeah, steal of the draft, Brian Branch. We got him in the beginning of the 3rd round. Thank you, Green Bay. God bless you. Now let's go into Lambeau and Brian Branch, have a day. Show them, hey, man, thanks for trading. Yeah. Wow. Nice to get that W. Go to 2-1. I saw that stat that teams that are 2-1 have a 54% chance to make the playoffs. Again, it's not something I'm worried about. Let's look at this here. Detroit Lions schedule, because I think we got Green Bay this Thursday, and then the next game is Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see here. Yeah, if we're looking here. So, man, if only we beat Seattle, dude. God, that would have been incredible to have been 3-0 going into Lambeau. But you know what? It was a wake-up call. It's kind of prepared us for where we need to be. And, like, really reminded the boys, like, yo, it ain't easy. Jeff Okudah was active. I think I saw him out there a little bit. Oh, hold on, my boy. We got a guest popping in here in just a second. Let me add him. Let's add him. My guy. Dose, give me a check one. I think I got you muted. Hold on. Your mic is muted. Oh, there it is. Ooh.
Oh, I thought that was you, man. There was some music playing. I was like, oh, you dropping the beats? Is that the playlist?
Nah, bro. Hey, welcome, Dose.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. Hey,
Bro,
this is good though. I go ahead.
Hey, if you want, don't forget, stream it on over on your channel if you want to throw that on yours as well.
Ooh, you're right, man. Let me get my
Hey, you
oh, that is cool. See, I've never done this.
Yeah, I think it's up in the right corner. You can stream it to yours. Dude, good to have you. Take a minute, set it up. While we're setting it up, let's just I think I was saying here we got Green Bay Thursday, Carolina, and then the Buccaneers. Ooh.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Got
Green Bay, Carolina, and Bucks.
Carolina Buccaneers. Hey, did the Bucks play today? Have they played
yet? No, they play tomorrow. They play the Eagles.
Oh, they're the Monday night game, huh?
Yep. Yeah, I think they're like the early Monday night.
Yeah, let's go, dude.
I like that you point that out though, because that does feel like a lot of potential wins there. I mean, like, look, you can't count, like they say, don't count your chickens. Like, I don't know who says that, but I heard someone say that. But don't count your chickens there. You know what I mean? Like, 100%. You don't want to, but we're looking at that. You know, like the big. Okay, now here's the question though: how many of those are at home? Because I know Green Bay's on the road. Like, we've already played 2 home games, so Green Bay's on the road. I think we have an extra home game though this year.
Yeah. So for the next 3 games, it's Packers away, Carolina home, Buccaneers away.
Okay, so Carolina's the home one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, the Carolina one we got to feel good about. I'm just kidding. We got to feel good about that one.
I mean, yeah. Now seeing them play and Bryce Young, I'm like, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude.
Yo, let's go, man. Dude, hey, congratulations, Dose. That's a W, boy.
Wait. What's the W? I don't know.
I just put
Oh,
up
the
the
prediction?
W. Let's
Oh, I
go.
thought I was like, wait, did I hit the I'm like, I know I didn't hit the prediction. Okay. All right, but how about
No,
this though? So I didn't see it. Did you see the Packers ending?
no. So I literally was running back home because I was watching at my buddies and trying to set up the stream.
Man, so he told me they missed a field goal from like what was it, 40 yards?
No way.
Dude, it was they had a field goal to win it. They were moving the football because I looked up right. We was about to start the stream, the Saints, and they were like right in field goal range. He said Jameis was playing quarterback, and they were in field goal
Stop.
range, and he missed it. He missed the game winner. They had him, dude.
Oh,
That's
wow. Well,
disappointing,
that hurts. That is disappointing.
man. Yeah. Shout out to the chat guys in there.
Dose.
How about the
Stays
defense?
having
I know
yards
you've
on
been talking about it, so I gotta know what you're thinking.
Yeah, dude. So I've been talking about it a little bit. First of all, Brian Branch, bro. Like,
Oh yeah.
unreal. That guy, I really do think he's going to be a candidate for the defensive rookie of the year. Yeah, I mean, he's just playing at a different speed than a lot of guys, a lot of rookies. And I'm going to say this again. I think that flag was bogus, and it was an optics flag that they called against Bijan.
Yeah, that was a weak one. That was a weak flag, man. Because I look, I don't understand the rules. I guess I just didn't understand how it was a flag. I guess if it's helmet to helmet because it's face
Helmet
mask
to
or something. Like
helmet.
I don't, because it wasn't the
Spear.
crown, right?
No,
Man,
no.
so I don't know. It was yeah. It was. I'm just glad it happened when it happened. Because if that was something that would have happened like in the second quarter, or like it was a
Yeah.
really big penalty, oh man, there have been people fired up about that. So it's like glad
Bro.
the game was kind of over.
I can't believe because like we had a pregame show, obviously we talked about it. I am blown away that we shut down the run as well as we did. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
I can't believe it, man. And those boys, they came to play. Kaminsky being out there, Bugs being activated, Hutch feasted today. Just he looked great. So some of the spin moves he put on that line, like finally we shut a mobile QB down.
We did. And you know what? I thought of you when we were watching the game because you were talking about the mobile quarterback thing, and it was I don't remember why it was brought up, but it was like Ritter hasn't scrambled really today.
No.
And like I know in the other games, he's not a big runner, right? But he'll move and he'll take off. And it was like he's not really taking off at all. Like there is no
he was contained.
That was out. Yeah, that was. I mean, the defense across the board was great. And then I looked at the stats before I came on here. I mean, 20 carries for 44 yards. What that does to me, you know what that does is it like solidifies what we've seen, right? It solidifies the stats of the last 2 weeks where you're like, hey, they're really good against the run, but it's like now you're playing a run team. You're playing Bijan. He's averaging 6.2 coming in, and you're holding to half that. It's like it solidifies what you thought the run defense was and what you think about the interior. And you're like, no, they're doing this against one of the best. I mean, really, I know they're kind of like one side, one dimensional, but
yeah,
and everybody knows that, but they're doing it still. You know, they're still really good at what they do, and to shut that down, man, they look kind of lost a little bit offensively.
Yeah. Oh, dude, absolutely. And even like Michael McDermott in here, Iffy and Tracy Walker locking it down. They did. Secondary, those guys stepped up. And you and I talked about it right before the game. We were like, dude, yep. Tracy Walker got paid. He got paid that big money to be here. He's one of the guys. So with CJ Gardner-Johnson going down, he had to step up huge, and he did. Now, granted, those were two very pickable balls.
Yes, they were.
Those were two interceptions that were in the breadbasket. But I'm not going to complain. Right, he played a great game. Cam Sutton is worth every cent. That guy is locking it down out there. Now, granted, Ritter is terrible with his arm, or at least he was today. I don't know, bro. Like he looked bad.
Yeah, it was rough. It was shaky. I mean, like, and that's what it felt like. Like it was like they knew they had to pass, and they were just very unconfident in it. And that's it's like you felt like that with Atlanta, like their inability to get through multiple progressions. Like it wasn't an offense that could like sit back there and pop and you just kind of like work you down the field. It was like, nah, that first thing's not there with that offensive line. They're in trouble, you know, and he missed some throws. But I will say this about Tracy. He had the 2 interceptions that were very catchable, but like what you said, he got paid, and we're watching Brian Branch. You just, as soon as I get it, you're saying Brian Branch. That's the reason he's not playing. That is the reason he's not playing, because CJ would have easily just played. They said that when they took Branch, like we weren't going to take him because we had that guy. And then they took Branch because he was just there. It's like he's the reason I play him, and you see why. It's like, all right, I get why Branch is out there, but like Tracy looked legit, man. I mean, he looked exactly what we know him as, all the good. Like he's jumping routes, he's making tackles, and then it's just the interceptions. I mean, we hit the jugs machine just a few times. I know we were talking about that.
I know,
the pregame, but
yeah,
dude,
yeah,
maybe some different gloves. I don't know.
Honestly, do something. But you're right. Otherwise, he was playing up to and exceeding par. Like my guy he was all over the ball. He was all over the routes. Like he was who we needed him to be. Brian Branch was unreal. Like love what we're getting out of that kid. And he hits hard. He's wrapping up. There was only one play where I saw him try to shoulder Bijan. It didn't work. And then the next play, he came sweeping into the backfield and just took him down immediately when they tried to pitch Bijan out to the left. But no, dude, the defense was what we've been promised it was going to be. Holding them to 6 points. They missed a field goal. They should have had 9, but we absolutely eliminated the run. Therefore, we eliminated their offense.
That sounded so cool the way that you said it. I'm not even going to try to follow that. But like if you had a little voice changer on that, like if that was like a little bit deeper, like been like, dang man, like you dim the lights a little bit, but like no, I mean, and I'm glad that, and what I love about this is it's really what you were saying, coming into this when they said, kind of we were talking about Aaron Glenn, and I hadn't really heard a lot of the fire Aaron Glenn stuff, to be honest with you. I hadn't really heard it because I haven't really been looking for it, but I would understand why it's out there. But to what you said, and you're like, no, last year's relevant because of how we finished the second half of the season. Like you're holding 20 to 20 points. Your pass defense completion percentage wise is, I think it was the best in the league. I think from week 9 on, we allowed the lowest completion percentage in football. So like a lot of things were picking up, and then the run defense. So to see that, like I said, it solidifies it. And you won't get many games like this. I'll say that. Like holding a team to 6 is rare. If we play Miami, I don't think we're holding them to 6. It just maybe not 70. I hope it's not 70, but I don't think 6. That's on. Hey, I'm telling you, I think Denver thought, or maybe Miami, someone thought that this was still Saturday. They're like, hey, it's college game day. We're going to put up a lot of points today. We'll stop the clock a little bit. Oh, my goodness. Like, hey, Russell Wilson was back at or was it Wisconsin? I mean, my 70 points. I didn't see the game, but my goodness.
No, like on the ticker at the bottom when my buddy was like, Miami put up 70. I was like, what? You're lying. Like, what are you talking about? No way. Maybe you're looking at yards. Like, I was like,
oh, my goodness. No, no, I don't. Because here's what I was thinking. We gave up, right? What was it? 48 to Seattle, and they didn't punt, right? They had the one turnover, but they didn't punt.
No.
So that means Miami. I wonder if they punt. If they had to punt in that game, bro, they had to be scoring in like 2 plays. They had to be just like 1-2, bop, touchdown. I mean,
literally.
I
can't imagine if I was a Miami fan, because like I look at the AFC East and I know it's off subject, but I'm like, oh boy, that's scary. That's scary. I guess jiu-jitsu works.
Yeah.
Are we all doing jiu-jitsu?
Right. Yo, hey, when if you're New England or the Jets, and you just finished a 10-15 game, and you peek over there at the little scoreboard app, and it's 70. It's like, all right, there may be left. Now, hold it. I will say, New England played them tighter though last week. Like New England had a legit shot to beat them. So the biggest question is probably what the heck is going on with Denver? And this is so off topic, but Denver's defense was legit last year, and New England had a chance to beat Miami. It's like, bro, hold up, hey. Like, we don't have to go down that road. I'm taking this the wrong way, but
you're right.
It's just crazy. I feel like it's something we don't really get a chance to talk about.
No, it's okay to talk about it. 70 points, man. I guess the record's 73. That's absurd.
That's the record?
Yeah. I think that's
the
most
almost set
ever.
A record?
Literally, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, linebackers had a great game. I saw your boy Derek Barnes out there. You were calling him out before the game, how excited you were. Barnes was looking good. Anzalone was just Thor was freaking running around with a cape. I want to strap a cape on that guy. I want him to be wearing a cape. I know his hair is basically it, but God, it would
look great. No, it would look, if there's a player, it would be him. It would look great. I was saying this in the last room that I was in, but like Duracell or Alex Anzalone, like he is a tone setter, man. Like I know the other guys maybe like they just maybe have they get the big hits or whatever it is, but he's the guy that's like, he's going to do his own thing. Sometimes it's not always great, but he's so instinctual. It's like, he just kind of does his own thing, and he'll make you a big flash play. Like I was talking about Seattle, that last play in the sack, or not the last play, but at the end of regulation when he had the sack, he was covering somebody. You know, like he left this guy go and he just went after the quarterback. It was like, dude, that was a big risk because if he catches that, he might pick up the first down. But Derek Barnes did have the sack. I didn't think he was as did as much as maybe I was like looking for, but I have to watch it back. But he did have the sack, so that was cool. The whole defensive line was eaten. I mean, Ali McNeil was money today. Oh my goodness.
I love McNeil, man. He was great. Like you said, the D line was just eating.
Oh my goodness. I mean, you can just look at the run numbers and feel that, but then I think it's so important to think about like how good that offensive line is run blocking. I mean, they don't have a run blocking. Their second round pick was drafted as a run blocker. All that offense, you have elite run blocking offensive line, and they had 44 rushing yards. Yeah. I mean, I can't think of one big run they had.
Dude, Bijan was kept to what, 3.3 yards a carry, 33 total. I think he ran the ball 10 times. And like, I was expecting them to try to run the ball down our throat. They came out in the second half trying to run. Yeah. But it just was to no avail. The guys up front were shutting them. The defense, and so this is my thing. The defense played spectacularly today, in my opinion, but the offense struggled, man. Offense struggled to get in a rhythm.
Yeah. No, I agree with you there. By the way, I got to shout out Ken real quick. He says the no cape Edna.
Dude, the Incredibles. Let's go.
I can hear
it. Yeah.
No cape. No, like I'm with you there. I don't have. It's different, and maybe it's because they've proven it, right? Defensively, like when it's bad, it can be easy to be like, oh, this is a problem.
Yeah.
Offensively, when it has stretches, I still have confidence because like I've seen it. But I do think with offense, man, it always feels like it comes back to the same things to me. A lot of times it's just, oh, they shot themselves in, but holding calls. I mean, we had 10
holding, dude.
Today, you know, 4 on the offensive line in the third quarter. They had 4, and it's just like you tie that with your offensive line on the right side is you're literally a third string right tackle that's a guard playing tackle, and you have your backup guard in there. It's like you tie that and you get it any third and long. It's like and in this game, like let's be fair too about you're not playing a team where it felt like we were playing catch up. You know, we weren't in a position where we had to score. You know, so you run a draw with Gibbs on a 3rd and 20, right? You can kind of play into we're fine with punting the ball because they're not scoring and that's how the game's going. So don't give them a short field by doing something dumb, getting a sack fumble because we try to do too much.
Right. Yeah.
And the St. Brown drop. Like, is St. Brown going to do that consistent? No.
No.
He ain't going to do that often.
No, in fact, you're like, oh, man, like that was bizarre. It was like, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
I can't. How about
go ahead.
Go for it.
I actually don't know if I remember what I was going to say. Yeah, you know what? You go ahead because I don't remember what I was going to say.
So I was just going to say, I look at St. Brown and like the fact that he obviously was having some sort of, I know he avoided turf toe, but like, you know, there was just something about him that looked like he was not going for the extra yards. He was dipping out of bounds, which I'm fine with. I'm like, hey, man, you get the first down and you see somebody coming in on you, get out of bounds. That's the number one thing I hate about players where they try to be Superman and they take some bad hits. That's how you ruin your season, a 4-week stint. It's all this stuff, but like I was happy to see him kind of dipping because I'm like, man, we had no injuries leading up to this Green Bay game. That's huge.
That's
because,
true.
Bro, without Montgomery, Gibbs ripped off, he had 80 plus yards. Like he looked good, but we need Montgomery back, man. We need him back.
I'm with you. And hopefully it's like, it didn't sound like some of these things are super serious. And I feel like a lot of those guys, they're on that side where it's like, I get they say, well, we can't get live reps. Do you need live reps with Decker? I mean, do you really need live reps with Decker? No, you can't need live reps with that guy. The dude's been around for like 16 years. You know, you just plug him right back in. So I'm with you though. Matt Nelson, we'll see about that one because he didn't come back in. But as long as Decker comes back, that shouldn't be a concern.
Yeah, no, dude, I'm with you. The Tony, my guy, Jared Goff rushing TD, that was the best. That was the best. I love that we were like, we faked it to Gibbs because he's pushed us all the way there. We want to get him that first, NFL TD. And Goff's like, nah, man, this is but my thing is, the fans that didn't grab him and pull him into the stands. In fact,
oh my goodness. Absolutely.
I'm like, what are you doing? You have the opportunity to grab that man and raise him like the Lion King. And instead you're like, no, we love you, but stay down there. I would have jumped onto the field, hoisted him and got ejected. I'd have been fine with it.
Wow. See, and that's why y'all need to click the like button because my man would have jumped out of the crowd, picked Goff up and put him up there. That's
Yeah.
crazy. You know how they do the little lion thing there. That would have been you.
Yes.
They'd have been like, oh, show that on the
100%.
jumbotron. Hey,
I'd have looked at my wife and
because
been
you're
like,
right.
pick me up in jail. It's fine.
No, but you're right though, because that was disappointing. It was so cool. Goff never pulls it down. He did. He scores. He throws it into the crowd, which was like, oh man, that's flashbacks right there. Just made me think first play, Stafford throwing into the end zone or throwing into the crowd. We beat Green Bay. You remember that? The game didn't count, but
take us back.
And it was just, yeah, man, we were just fired up. So I was thinking that, but oh, this is sweet. And then, man, the leap was just not the way to top it off. It was like he made the great cake, and then he dropped just. He put some celery on top of it or something. It's like, hold up, dude. You messed it up. Now I don't even want the cake anymore.
Help. Fans just like,
yeah, no, they
didn't.
Down. They could have, they could have put something else on there, but they just like,
it was
it's
a
not
moment,
that.
man.
It's like, hold up, man. Yeah, I'm with you. That would have been a great picture to get to, by the way. Like if you could have got him up there and got like your phone out, that'd been a sick picture.
Dude, I think Goff played great. He looked so comfortable in there, dude. He looked so
a lot of heat on him too. A lot of heat, man. Oh, shout out to my man Kobe in the. I love to see Kobe, man. Yes, sir, Deanna told you from day one. Look at you, hey Kobe. Kobe. That's my guy. He's hit on like I should say like I know he's had guys in the past like this that he just like loves when the draft comes around, and he's like all in for those dudes. So that's my man. Yeah, look at that. Remember for 21 months, man. That's unreal. Well, I don't even remember what we were talking about. I don't.
Nah, I'm talking about Goff just looking real comfortable.
Oh, right.
Bro, he was taking shots.
Oh, yeah. And you know what's so great about that, right? So it's like you miss Khalif, then you come back and get the shot with Sam Laporta. And it was like the shot with Sam Laporta was immediate. And I don't think we can overlook that just from first watch, Dan Skipper coming in, because if you think about it, first play that he comes in, right, we roll away from him to get the pass off. And after that, a lot of things were they were hard for us to move the football. Like we need to get that fixed, but with a lot of pressure on Goff. Like I thought there was a stretch there. I think it was somewhere in the third quarter where passes were just getting high on him. There was some frustration too, but I thought it was almost like he was pressing it a little bit, and he doesn't usually ever do that. But it just felt like not pressing maybe in decision making, pressing in terms of how the ball put too much on it, dude. You just try to squeeze that in there, and but then he dialed it back in, and then. Because he made some beautiful throws, especially before the half. So
I know. Yeah,
he had some. Like, man, he's been super reliable.
Dude, the one to St. Brown right on the sideline that he had to dive for. That dude, the defender's hand was just missed it. It was perfect. It was a perfect ball.
Dude,
he had a few of them.
We were out there at halftime, because I can reenact kind of that throw.
Sure.
So it's one of those things. I don't always have the receiver for it, but But no, we were talking about that throw at halftime because it was like, man, that was a nasty throw. Because those dad always has to bring up like, oh, look, you see a little wobble on that pass. So he had to, he came through and he was like, that was a dot. I could hear him say that. So it was just like one of those like hallelujah moments. So that was good. It was a good play.
Dude, I don't know who was calling our game, but they were terrible.
Oh yeah, that's the offensive line. I think you said he played for Washington. I thought it was the Raiders or something. Mark Schlereth. And then whoever the other dude was, I don't know who the other dude was.
They were awful. They were terrible.
Yeah.
It'd
be one thing. Yeah. No, I mean Fox. Look, we're always here. We can always take the call if Fox wants to. We're here. Look, I got the headset and everything. I can pull the mic down. I mean, I don't even need this thing. You know what I'm saying? Look, come on, man. I'll hook you up with one too, man. $20 right down the drain. We'll do it, man. We'll hit up Fox real quick. Yes, sir.
I'm in. It'd be awful, but I'm in.
But yeah, man, no, this was great. I'm just glad that we're able to kind of sit in this win a little bit. To see that you were still alive was great. I'm like, okay, this is good, man. 2-1.
That's how you know it's a W.
But oh my, it takes me back to last year because like the one big takeaway was we played teams that we were better than. We beat those teams, like, and we didn't just like beat them, like it was comfortable. This game was literally comfortable the entire second half. Yeah, I've never had a concern. I understood we didn't score and we were putting them away, and I think if we were healthy, we would have. But it still felt comfortable, man. Like there was never a part in it. Usually I do. It's easy as a Lions fan to be like, oh snap, this game ain't over yet. Never a part of me felt like they were gonna never. Even when we turned it over, we threw a pick and I was chilling.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was kind of like, all right, well, because their offense was being shut down so hard by our defense that I was just like, all right, fine, you can have the ball. We're just gonna shut you down again. I feel great.
Feel great, man.
What was the over under on rushing TDs by Goff? It had to
No,
have been
that
under
hey,
one.
yeah. Hey, there may have been a negative there. That may have been the first one out there, the first negative
I
stat line.
know.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah,
Literally.
it may have been like a -5, maybe a couple sacks in there. I mean, look, a couple bad run, broken plays. Uh,
Yeah. Well, hey man, listen,
yeah.
dude.
Go
Thank
ahead,
you
man.
for
You
thank you
wrap
for
this thing.
jumping on. I'm
Yes.
gonna be wrapping up here. I don't know if you have anything else that you want to say to the people before we take on Green Bay this Thursday. You got any closing thoughts regarding the game?
I'll say this, man. I want to shout out to Let's Talk Lions for doing the pregame show. Hey, it's been great. It's been a
It has been.
huge it's been awesome because like I was just doing it past by myself and I like, what are we gonna talk about? And it's great, but as you know, when you do a lot of shows, we're just talking to the camera and there's people in the chat, which makes it
Yeah.
better. But it's good to have someone that just kind of bounce things off. He's been great. We've done it on short notice as well. So I appreciate you and man, appreciate everybody that's joined, man, sticking with us as we kind of work through this season. I'm excited. This is going to be by the way, I don't know who's doing the performance, but what I'm really excited to see is after we get that dub, whoever is going to be performing at the end, because at Thursday Night Football, they do like a live concert on Amazon right after the
Oh,
game. Like last week
really?
was Ed Sheeran. They go for like an hour, and it's just made for TV. It's awesome. They do it so good, man. Last week was Ed Sheeran.
Oh,
I stayed up just for that. So I hope
no
it's a
way.
fire guest. Yes, I'm excited for that. So
Dang.
hopefully
All right.
maybe they'll tie
I,
it a little bit to Detroit. They'll put someone from there or
oh, give
something.
us Eminem, would you?
That would be
That's all we
something. Oh
want.
my
I'll take
goodness.
NF.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be great.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm good with either one of those. We can do
Come
that.
on,
So
dude. Yeah, man. Well, hey, thank you for joining everybody. I see there's 100 of you hanging out with us from Dose of Dion's
appreciate you.
channel, some from mine. Great to have this W against Atlanta. It's an in-conference win. That's big. Now let's go into Lambeau. Let's get that in-division win. Let's claim the division early as ours. Let's put that stamp on it. Let's go. Let's go.
Yes,
Hey,
sir. I love
have a
it.
happy Victory Monday, everybody. We get another game this very week. Let's get excited. I'm sure Dose is going to be putting out content galore for you guys. Will I? I don't know. It's going to be a long week. I got a lot to do this week.
I feel you there. I feel you, man. Short week,
Awesome.
right back to it. Gotta love it.
All right.
Man.
Well, thank you guys for hanging out. Dose, thanks for coming on the show, my man.
All right. Thanks for having me.
All